Cosy58. Where do I start about Cosy58? If you've been active in the Marble Race community at all, you might have heard of a user named Cosy58. Cosy58 has uploaded about 67-ish levels as of the time of making this video, and all of them are just confusing and nonsensical messes. They look like something made by a little kid, but just a tiny bit too complicated to be on that level. The Marble Race community has spent a very long time trying to decipher Cosy58's confusing cluster of content. In part 1 of this video, we are going to look over the first 20 of Cosy58's levels, which have made Cosy58 the most mysterious Marble Race creator. (360A). So everyone knows that you get better with practice, so that when you look back on your first attempt, it's laughable compared to what you can do now. So maybe we're starting out with the worst level, according to that statement? Let's take a look and find out. Cosy58 sure had a lot of room to improve. So we walk down the sky blue pathway that is one solid color, and we get stuck in this teleporter that takes you nowhere, causing you to restart the level. After carefully avoiding that on your second attempt, you can take these rails to this windmill decoration, then to this slide, which I'm surprised isn't the default slide, that takes you to this pipe, which is the default pipe, which takes you to a skin select. This level's a menu? Interesting to say the least. After choosing the skin you want, take this slide. When I first saw this, I thought the level was unfinished, but it's actually invisible blocks below you. It's actually pretty complex for a little Timmy level to make invisible blocks. Like, you have to know a little bit about how to make materials and stuff, so after that, you make it to this lonely Spike on an island all by himself. We enter the home stretch as we go down this blocky road and the level ends. I've never seen a menu with an ending before. Odd choice. Alright, it's time to rate this level. What should I rate this level to set a precedent for rating all future Cosy58 levels? I would give this a 3.1 out of 10, but the lackluster design, sparse chip points, teleport soft block pushes this down to 1.4 out of 10. Yes, I'm a generous man when it comes to ratings. At least for now. I-I-O-O-A-A. This level doesn't look very fun. It looks like a straight pathway that would be a pain on mobile or using a mouse, like just the keyboard would be able to beat this level. Okay, it has invisible platforms at the start now, but otherwise it's exactly what I expected from the thumbnail. Wait, that's the whole level? Just a little straight line and then the end? Just one annoying challenge and then the level's over? What is this, Geometry Dash? Anyone who plays this level is going to want to use their keyboard, so it's much easier that way. There's like nothing else I can say about this level. It has about 2.5 seconds of content, so it gets a 0.2 out of 10. Like, at least it's not offensive, other than it being offensive to mouse and mobile players. 102938475 Okay, this level's thumbnail is already making me want to cry. Let's see if it gets any worse than the actual level itself. Still an eyesore. Okay, so after we get to this bounce pad section, which is very, very annoying since bounce pads are unreliable in this game, making this section difficult and frustrating, and they forgot to put an invisible zone, so if you bounce too high, you die. Luckily, it isn't as hard as it sounds, but it will take many attempts. There's practically nothing in this level other than what I've already described, so I'm giving this one a 0.5 out of 10. Okay, so let's take a look here. Bad color choice, white background, some blue structure in the background. Also, this cluster of cloths all in the same spot. The gameplay starts off with going across a narrow pathway that had little to no thought putting into it when it was designed, and then we get to this gear section, which is suspiciously similar to the gears from Cry Pack 1. Well, I guess everyone uses it now, I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway. After getting on the gear, you get subjected to random floating catapults and an inconveniently placed block, forcing you to go down the path of floating catapults. Then we get to this odd-looking structure covered in punching gloves, along with a little punching glove pathway to the side, and apparently this structure was a skin select. This level is a menu too? Weird. Also, the skin select outlines the fact that this whole level has a green light on the marble. If we look at the thumbnail, we can see the true colors of this level, blue and red together. Ugh! Not working out well in the color department. Luckily, in-game, the blue turns black, so it looks a little better, you know. Also, if you didn't notice, there are tortures in this level, but you probably expected that. I did. That's why I went to the local psychologist and cured me of my tendency to die from tortures. Alright, I don't know how much quality I can get out of these levels still, so I'll just take a wild guess and give this a 1.5 out of 10. I came up with a theory that this level is a digestive system. As a person who knows a lot about the digestive system, let's take a look through this. The spawn area is the oral cavity, with these closed being the teeth. Ignore the fact that all the teeth are in the same location and are green and red. It's probably what happens to people who don't brush their teeth. This area is the esophagus, because once you go down, you can almost never come back. Also, it's a narrow tube after the oral cavity. What else is it gonna be? The rotating gear is the stomach because it kinda moves around to help digest food, I think. I don't know, it's hard to make connections. Then the catapults are the small intestine because they take you to the large intestine, I guess. I don't know what the skin select and punching glove represent though. I guess being turned into poop. And obviously this glove part is the rectum because it feels like getting punched when you get excreted, I think. I don't know, I haven't gotten eaten before. Let's just get on to the next thing before this gets any weirder. At Yaki E424T. Cosy58 is really speaking beyond the English language here. Let's start with the first level of this campaign, Super Tournament. Anyhow, for starters, this camera angle is atrocious, and these textures of these spinning gears are clipping through themselves and others. After that section, we reach a bunch of punching gloves that are much larger than normal. After that, the beloved spinning gears return, and we get to this gray castle thing. Why are there so many bumpers on the sides? Next, you get to more spinning gear segments, and I'm running out of words to describe this beautiful mess. The next notable thing here is more black and gray towers, and then some white punching gloves. Next, you go to the giant gray castle that was in the background while you're playing earlier. This section is difficult to navigate since there's a bunch of holes, but you're supposed to get over to this giant default pipe over here. At the bottom of said pipe, there's a giant gear that will punch you over and over. What a fun ride! In fact, you have to use this to get the height needed to reach this next section, which is elevated. That actually is a little creative there. Another point for Cosy58. But wait, take that point back. This next part is probably impossible because I tried it a bunch of times and the marble is simply not fast enough to make it to the gear on time. So I went to the editor and skipped ahead of this part, and after that part the level is basically over. Right as you're about to make an okay level, you screwed up at the end. 3.5 out of 10. Bio. The name of this level is Bio, but I'm pretty sure all it'll do is take life away from me. Another atrocious camera angle. Woohoo! So in front of this white platform there are these colorful cubes. Then they become gray as the path goes on, leading to here. At the end of the path, this massive spinning thing appears. I think this part's impossible as well. You can land on the gear at very specific angles and times, but the gear rotates so fast that you can't control yourself. I opened the level in the editor, and that was the end of the level after that massive gear. Look at this! The chances of you hitting the end wall on that giant rotating monstrosity are next to nothing. It'd be best to mark this level as impossible for all of our sanity's sakes. This level is just not very interesting or fun to play and has little gameplay value in playtime. And like I said before, basically impossible. 0.2 out of 10. As Denine level. Is this whole campaign going to be impossible levels? I guess it's time to find out with our next level. What is this thumbnail? Flowers? Look at that marble in the corner. He looks like he's suffering. I don't know, let's start the level. What? What is this? There's some green and red background and a bunch of one-color pipes and... Ugh. Why is my computer lagging? It usually does not lag at all when I play Marble Race. And also, why is the marble glowing? There's no point to it glowing, it just looks weird, like marbles radioactive now or something. These levels are so toxic. I'm surprised anyone's not radioactive after playing it, I guess. So after those weird pipes, you make it to this platform and there's some blocks to the side, so you think the end of the level must be there, right? No! I thought this level was impossible, but the camera hides some more platforms that then have the end of the level. Good luck navigating those with a blue and white checkered blindfold in the way. Also, in the editor, I think I can see why my computer's lagging. Look at this. It's cool, but it's killing my computer. The pipe doesn't even have any collision, it's just a background object. This level's horrible to look at, has horrible design, and makes my computer scream. 0.3 out of 10. Facade C1. I think I'm starting to get used to these weird camera angles. Firstly, I'd like to talk about something I've noticed in a select few of these levels. We're not that many levels deep yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Some of the Cosy58 levels have some interesting mechanics, but are executed in the worst way possible. Like this level, there's a blue fog here that blocks some of your vision, and some parts of the level are hidden below it, but this is executed so poorly that it's just confusing and frustrating. And apparently below this blue fog, there's a bunch of red platforms. This level makes me think of a map of the world where the green is land and the blue is water. Like Marble is like a giant monster going across the world, stepping on cities, stuff like that. The first notable section is over here where you can see some tortures, which already hurt a lot, but then, if you dare to go any farther, you find the mother of all eyesores. After escaping that behemoth of overlapping textures, you get to this part where some of the green has blue on the top instead. Like, good try on spicing it up, I guess? I don't know. When I got to this next section, I thought this was another impossible level, but then when I walked over here, there were some platforms under the blue fog. Surprising to say the least. Also, there's this section with bumpers and a giant bowling ball for some reason, and the level just suddenly ends, like no transition at all to an ending area. I guess this level had some effort put into it, so I'll give it a 2.5 out of 10. I just spit on my computer. Oh. Oh, level. That's a mouthful of a name. Sounds like something I'd search on the school computer when I got bored, and then see if there's any images or results on Urban Dictionary. Will the gameplay match the randomness? Let's find out. I concur. Just as random as those monkeys with typewriters, and they had to design a marble race level, and this is what it looks like. So we have to roll around the border of these overlapping texture rectangles, and no thought for the camera angle whatsoever yet again. This level has only 2 checkpoints, and one of them was supposed to be the end of the level but has a checkpoint instead. Another impossible level. And no, there's nothing under the red fog. I checked under there already. 0.1 out of 10. Moving on. Space level. Okay, just looking at this level thumbnail is already making me have low expectations. Is this the box for Battleship? Or like some foreign version? I don't know. Can someone decipher this? Well, in the meantime, let's look at this level. I knew it would be horrible. Get it away from me. Get it away. Okay. I'm fine now, I think. This is some kind of art of planets you'd see on a school website as the main texture here. And if you couldn't tell, this whole level takes place inside of a giant catapult. Credit goes where it's due. That's actually very creative. And then the battleship textures here. And to fit this level's name, there are these planets that are floating around, I think. About halfway throughout this level, you enter this maze with conflicting textures that just make this level look all the worse. This level is very short and very painful to look at, 1 out of 10. If I had to make a theory about this level, I'd say that this space game is something like Jumanji, where it traps you inside of a board game, and you have to make it to the end to survive.